So Pierre Poilievre has a few words to say to Chrystia Freeland and Justin Trudeau regarding the latest inflation figures. They've gone up. This is what Chrystia Freeland said.
Canadians who feel the bite of rising prices the most acutely. For our most vulnerable friends and neighbours, our government will deliver additional, targeted inflation relief. Wow. This support will be narrowly focused and fiscally responsible.
Now we've got higher and higher inflation, 40% higher than the previous indication month before. 40%. It's up to over 4% now from 2% where Chrystia Freeland, and what we keep saying Freeland, got a pat on the back for reducing inflation. Let's have a listen to what Pierre has to say.
With today's inflation data, just inflation strikes again. Not only is inflation up, it is rising and rising faster. Inflation in Canada, after 8 years of Justin Trudeau, is not only high, but it is broad. It is across all different products and services. Whether you include or exclude food and gas, inflation is now double its target. 2 months ago, Chrystia Freeland declared victory against inflation and asked everyone to give her a pat on the back. Since that time, the inflation rate has risen 43%. It is interesting that the further and further we move away from COVID, the more and more inflation is rising, which continues to prove what I said all along, which is that COVID had nothing to do with inflation. It is entirely a made in Canada, made by a government-made inflation that is the result of deficits and taxes on Canadians. And it's no longer just me saying it. Everyone has slowly but grudgingly come on to my point of view. The Governor of the Bank of Canada has said that the deficits are driving inflation. The former Liberal Finance Minister, John Manley, says deficits are driving inflation. Even Chrystia Freeland said that deficits pour fuel on the inflationary fire right before she decided to pour $60 billion of that fuel on that fire. So this is more proof that Justin Trudeau is not worth the cost.
This is the thing, I still don't understand why people back Justin Trudeau and Chrystia Freeland and Singh. Singh is the worst. Pierre's going to say something in a minute about Singh, but we all agree Singh needs to say something. He needs to step up. He needs to stop the coalition. He needs to stop this craziness. Where is he? Why isn't he there? Why isn't he there for Canadians? You know why? Because nobody will vote for him if he's all on his own. He needs the coalition to have a chance of doing anything. So that's why he hangs around. That's why he won't vote no confidence.
But neither is Jagmeet Singh. And this is, I'd like to take a moment to talk about greed and price gouging. The greed and price gouging of the Liberal NDP government, which takes more and more money from hardworking Canadians and raises the cost of government, which raises the cost of everything. After 8 years of Trudeau and the NDP, everything costs more. Work doesn't pay. Housing costs have doubled. And it gets worse every single day. What is most terrifying is that the inflation Trudeau has ballooned will put further pressure on the Bank of Canada to increase rates further.
Exactly. Can you handle another interest rate rise? Just leaves a comment. Are you near the edge on your interest rate rise? Is it pay the mortgage or buy food? Have you got to make them choices? How close are you to being at the limit of your expenditure from your wages?
At a time when Canadians are the most indebted people in the entire G7. What are people going to do? How are they going to pay their mortgages if Trudeau's inflation forces the bank to raise rates yet again? We can't afford that. And that's why we need to replace this costly coalition that takes your money, taxes your food, and doubles your housing costs with a common sense conservative government that includes axing the NDP Liberal carbon tax, capping spending and cutting waste.
Exactly. What I don't get is why the Liberal government don't at least just put a pause on carbon tax. That's going to increase and help people no end. You know, food, travel, everything will go down in price and help Canadians. I don't get it. I don't get why no pause on carbon tax.